Hi everyone. This is just going to be my story and how I've made health and fitness part of my life and kind of how I grew up and how it's become such a big part in my life. Um, so we'll start when I was a kid. I remember my first real memory of knowing that something was different was when I was in the third or fourth grade, and we went to the nurse's office, and the girls were on this side and the boys were on this side, and the girls were going in to get weighed. And so this girl in front of me, she got weighed, and the nurse weighed her, and she weighed like 80 some pounds. And I got up on the scale and I weighed 130 pounds. And I remember thinking, wow, that's a big difference. Um, I wonder why I weigh so much more than she does. So I went home that night and I told my mom, I said, this girl weighed 80 pounds and I weighed 130 pounds. Uh, I weigh a lot more than she does, and of course, being a mom, she's like, "Oh, Brittany, people are different, and that's just the way it is." And her friend was there, and I remember her looking at me, and she goes, "Wow, I weigh 130 pounds. You weigh as much as I do." And I thought, "Oh gosh, she's an adult. Why do I weigh as much as she does?" And so, I was that was kind of like my first memory, and I was always the bigger kid in school, and of course you get made fun of when you're different, and so I got called names, and I remember having like a really hard time in like uh, fourth grade, and that was just really awful. And then you be a teenager and you go through that awkward phase, and so then I was about 16 years old and I had a really great group of friends. I had a big group of girlfriends and we were all different and different sizes, and so you kind of just get to know your role. You are the big friend, or that's just who you are. That's how you've always been. That's who you're going to be forever. So you might as well just embrace it. Well, so I embraced it, and that's who I was. And when I was 17, I met my husband, and I moved out shortly after I graduated from high school, and we got married when I was 21, and naturally we decided that we wanted to have a baby. So we started to try to have a baby, and it wasn't happening. So I thought, well, we need to go and find somebody to talk to. So I went to my doctor and I saw a nurse practitioner, and she looked at me and she's like, Brittany, I'm just going to be honest with you. Uh, your body's not accepting pregnancies because you're too fat. And I remember thinking, wow, she just said that to me. She just called me fat. And I was mad and I was sad, like thinking my body wasn't going to hold a pregnancy. I was never going to be a mom. So I walked out of the office that day crying, and I decided to lose weight. So I joined a program, and I lost 50 pounds. Well, after losing 50 pounds, my body did accept a pregnancy, and I got pregnant with my son. And I stopped looking at a scale when I was pregnant because it was disheartening to me. I'd lost all that weight, and then now I was gaining weight because you're supposed to gain weight when you're pregnant, but you don't want to gain weight. So I stopped looking at the scale, and I gained 65 pounds when I was pregnant. And after I had my son, it was amazing, and just as you'll talk to any mom, it was just awesome. Well, after I had my son, and I was ready to get my weight back off again, and I wanted to be a good mom and to be a healthy mom and be a good example for him. And so I was like, I'm gonna lose my weight again. Well, I joined the program and I joined again, and I started counting my points, and I was doing really good. And then all of a sudden, your hormones are different after you have a baby, and so I thought that the way I was feeling different was because of my hormones. Well, I ended up getting postpartum depression and anxiety, and I didn't really realize it at first, but it started to get more and more. I started to get more anxious. I was afraid to stay at home by myself. I was afraid to go anywhere by myself. I was terrified to go to public places sometimes. Even with my husband, I didn't want to go in there. I would feel short of breath, and I didn't feel comfortable taking care of my son because I was like, well, if I'm doing this, then what if something happens to me, and I can't take care of him. And I just remember lying in bed sorry, my computer went blank. I just remember lying in bed and at nighttime and being just like terrified to wake up the next day and know that I was going to feel like that. Terrified that something would happen to me because I had some kind of doom and gloom around me. I was just in such a dark place. I was like, there's obviously something going wrong. Something's going to happen to me, and my son and my husband are not going to be there. And that's just where you go when you have anxiety. And I was in such a dark place, and I just didn't know what to do. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I didn't know what to do. So I went to the doctor, and she put me on medicine, of course, and none of the medicines really helped me. They just didn't work, most of them, and if they did, I had side effects, and I didn't like taking medicine. So I started to research like natural anxiety reliefs, and there's, when you do that, there's exercise that pops up, and I thought, God, I'm losing weight and I'm eating healthy. Why not exercise? That's like the obvious step if that's going to make me feel better. Did I believe that it was really going to help? Not really. But I thought, well, why not? Sure, let's try it. So I started to exercise in January of 2013. And it really did start to help me. Of course, I was still on a PRN anxiety medication when I needed it, and I still had panic attack episodes where I would be panicky for like a week at a time, and but exercise did help me when I was consistent with it. So I exercised. I did like Zumba on the Xbox and different things like that. Nothing too big, but it got me moving, and it did help. Well, in September of 2013, I found my coach Brittany's page, and I don't remember how I got to talking to her, but we started talking, and she's like, hey, I have a challenge group. It's using T25. Do you want to join me? And I was like, sure, sure, why not? I'll join that. So I got my T25, and I started working out with it, and it helped so much. When I was working out every day, and it helped so much. I felt more confident, and I didn't have to take my medicine as often, and I really started to get into it. And in 2013, in like the end of 2013, Brittany asked me to be a coach, and I was like, no, I'm not really into that right now. And the more I started posting about how I was working out all the time, people were asking me, Brittany, how are you losing your weight? What are you doing? Are you working out? Are you dieting? And I would tell them, and they would be like, you're inspiring, and and I would feel like I was helping them already. And so one day in January of this year, I decided that I messaged Brittany, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I want to be a coach. I want to help people. So I decided to be a coach. And that was January 11th, and I just jumped in. I just jumped into it, and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help people. This is going to be awesome. And I really felt like when I was introduced to it, and she was just so supportive, and she introduced me to this group, the Diamond Dynasty that I'm in, this group of coaches, and I just felt so at home. Like, they were so welcoming, and I felt like I have a purpose. I have a purpose in life, and I'm going to help people. I'm going to help them get fit. I'm going to help them be healthy, and I'm going to help them be healthy for their families. And I hope that I can help somebody that might have anxiety like me, and it can really help them. And when I jumped into that coaching, it was like a light switch went off, and it was like, light bulb, this is what you're supposed to do, Brittany. And one day I decided, I found my purpose, so I'm I'm not gonna take my medicine anymore. And I didn't. I haven't taken my medicine since right before my birthday, which was on January 30th. And I haven't needed it. I haven't felt like I wanted it. And I just feel like God put Brittany in my life to inspire me and to keep me motivated and to show me this opportunity that I have, and to just help other people, and say, you're not alone. You are not alone in your anxiety. You're not alone in the fact that you want to get healthy and fit for your family, and I can help you, and I want to help you. And if I can just help one person that they want to be fit and healthy and change their lives, then that's what I got into it for. That's my purpose here. And I really hope that if you are watching this and you are struggling with anxiety or postpartum depression, or you think that you've always been the big person and that's just who you are, and you're not happy in that, but you think that's just who I've always been. It's not. You're not alone. You can change your life. It doesn't take but you just deciding to commit to something for you to change your life. And I want to help you. And if it's not me, then there are tons of other people out there to help you, and coaches just like me. I hope that you let me help you, because I would love to help you. It's so rewarding for somebody to tell me that I've helped them change their lives, and I've helped them lose weight, and I keep them motivated, and that's exciting to me. And I can't wait to see where this journey takes me, and I hope that you come along with me on it. And I thank you for watching this, and see you soon. Bye.